Sure. Yep. Just to give you a heads up, coach, it's with your experience in coaching the game of basketball, could you give 5 qualities that a basketball coach should possess in order to be successful?
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
So we have
Thanks,
coaches
coach.
from all over Asia. That's gonna be
Okay.
so,
Grab a pen.
okay.
Shall I play already?
And then, hey, I just want,
Yeah, sure.
I just want to throw this out there. So, I don't know how much you know about me. I have 9-year-old triplets.
Wow.
So, and
Wow.
we are still obviously at a stay-at-home order. So if you
Mhm.
see a little person walk in behind
That's
me,
all right.
that's just what I have one that he thinks that he is, well, he will tell you that he is going to be the next NBA player. And so he's always,
That's good.
he is always doing something.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You can play it.
Who is his favorite player, coach?
Today it's Josh Okogie, who's ever on the whatever team we're playing. It was De'Aaron Fox when we were in Sacramento. So today it's Josh Okogie, and I'll walk around. We'll just be in the house sometimes, and he's walking around on my phone. I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he's FaceTiming, like he's just FaceTiming Josh. So it's pretty funny.
Wonderful.
So Teddy's are coming in. Teddy, you can play the video before we can.
Bryan Philippines. Blackwater would like to support our heroes of the front line who are risking their health and well-being to attend to COVID-19 patients. We aim to provide the frontliners of the Pasig City General Hospital hygiene kits which they can use daily. Blackwater, smell good, feel good. This webinar series is brought to you by Hoop Coaches International in cooperation with Blackwater. Smell good, feel good. This coaching webinar series would like to give special thanks to the following. Samahang Basketball ng Pilipinas Coaches Commission Head, Coach Jong Yochiko. Basketball Coaches of the Philippines President, Coach Louis Gonzalez. Got Skills Head, Coach Alan Ricardo, and frontliner Christopher Top Juliano. Hashtag Bangon Pilipinas. Blackwater.
Good evening again,
Sure.
our attendees. Again, we're back and for our very first webinar in June, and we have a very, very special guest that's joining us tonight. Okay, again, our resident sports psychologist is with us. Doc Teddy, good evening.
Good evening, Coach Ariel. Good morning, Coach Bryan.
Good morning.
And yeah, as mentioned by Teddy here, we have a very special guest, an assistant coach of the NBA in the NBA with the Minnesota Timberwolves, Coach Bryan Gates. Good morning to you.
Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for sharing or making time for us. Again, Coach, we'd like to hear it from you. How did you got into coaching with all your vast experience? We want to hear your coaching story.
Well, when I was in 7th grade, we had to do one of those book reports on what do we want to be when we grow up, and I actually wrote down an NBA coach. And my senior year in high school, I helped out with the freshman team, and the freshman coach and I were always close as I was going through high school basketball, and so that's just kind of where it started. He actually had a son that was a little bit younger, and I would go help him also like almost a YMCA team. So and then my freshman year, I tried to walk on at Boise State. We all get to that point where we're just not good enough, and so I stopped there, and then I volunteered. We had a CBA team, which that league doesn't exist, but it's probably more the G League today, the NBA G League. I volunteered there for a year, and then just kind of bounced around minor leagues for about 11 years. It's tough because a lot of the leagues have dissolved a little bit. But I was in the CBA and the USBL back and forth for a while. I would be able to get 2 seasons in 1 calendar year, and that took me from Boise, Idaho to Enid, Oklahoma, back and forth. And it's at a summer league. I met the Raptors coach Nick Nurse. This is 20 over 20 years ago now, and he was coaching in England, and I was coaching in the CBA, and I said, hey man, you want to come coach in the USBL with me, because he could find players for his team in England. So he did. So Nick Nurse and I were together for about 3 summers, which was really fun. We had some good times, good laughs, good stories. And then I kind of through my minor league being an assistant, then I got the head coaching job in Boise, Idaho, where I was a head coach of a G League team for 3 years. And then I got an opportunity to get to the NBA with the Sacramento Kings. And I've been in the NBA for like the last 11 years, and started in Sacramento. It's kind of odd. I don't think everybody has this path, but I've been in the NBA 11 years and 5 different teams, but 3 cities, because I've gone to Minnesota twice and Sacramento. So I was in Sacramento for a year, New Orleans for 5 years, Minnesota for a year, and then back to Sacramento for 3 years. And we just finished our first year here in Minnesota, or we're about to finish. We're still kind of waiting for how the NBA is going to finish their season. So overall, I think I just finished my 21st year coaching, and there's my little guy.
Hi. Good morning.
I had my headphones on. He can't hear you, but he's actually on here looking who's on, and when he figures out that there's no Timberwolves players on, he's probably going to walk away. So, so that's kind of where I'm at. Personal life. One of my stops, I was an assistant coach in Austin, Texas, and met a nice lady, which I married, and we have 9-year-old triplets, 2 boys and a girl, and that was one of the boys. So I apologize, but kind of
that's all right.
They got 2 more days of school left, so they're bouncing off the wall. So this is my office is also their homeschool material room, so they're in and out of this room. So, but that's kind of my journey. Everybody has a unique journey. Mine was, I started as an intern, like a lot of people, and just kind of worked my way up, and here I am today. Kind of have some peaks and valleys through the way, and the one thing I've learned is be a star in your role. We always tell our team and our players, be great in your role, be a star in your role. And I think sometimes we need to remind ourselves of that, just whatever, especially when we're assistant coaches, be great at what you're doing for the team, and especially for your head coach. And I've kind of always just kind of stuck to that. It's helped me. The higher you get a little bit, excuse me, the bigger chance you can get to be fired, which happens. But very thankful to be where I'm at today, and thankful to be here with you gentlemen today.
And thank you for spending time with us, Coach. And you kind of mentioned about what's going on with the NBA. Any updates on your side, Coach?
No, I heard that there's going to have a vote on Thursday to see what happens. I do believe that they have everybody's best interest at heart, and I think they're just trying to figure out a way to keep everybody safe and sane too. At the time, we've been in, a stay-at-home almost for 3 months here now, and I couldn't imagine going somewhere without my wife and kids. So I think they're trying to work out that, and the amount of people that they can have, and obviously with 30 teams, you have 30 unique situations in everybody, and so I think that's a big part of it. And so we'll just kind of wait and see.
All right. Excellent, Coach. So, Coach, our topic for tonight is ball screen or pick and roll defense. So, what has changed? You mentioned like 11 years in the NBA. Obviously, the game has evolved into a lot of ball screens, and so I'm kind of what has changed or what has remained the same.
Analytics has changed everything in my opinion. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, here, this is I'll give everybody this is always interesting to me. I've had this picture and just how the game has changed, in the last 20 years. Those are the areas, where people shoot from, and it's turned into layups and free throws. There's a couple teams out there, the San Antonio Spurs, we call it two to death. I mean, they can just two you to death. And, obviously with their players, LaMarcus Aldridge and DeRozan, they can hit jump shot after jump shot in these areas and really beat you.
Mm-hmm.
But, a big part to me that has happened is the corner three is such of a high percentage and high points per possession. You'll hear a lot of people say PPP, and that is points per possession, or almost points, points per shot. If you shoot it from here, it's a 1.42, I think points per shot. And now if you shoot it from here, one step in, it's 0.9. And so, you're talking about a half a point a shot. So I think analytics has really changed it. So one of the things, and I'll kind of talk about this throughout, is you want to play pick and roll defense as much as you can on a 2-on-2 area. You want to have who's ever guarding the ball, who's ever guarding the screener. You want to try to defend it within those two guys. With the other three guys, I say play 2-on-2 in a small area. And I have some video to show you on that. I just kind of have a little outline of what we'll have today. And I'll email this to you so you can put it wherever you need to put it, so coaches can get to it. But
yes, thank you.
So it's I'll give you my kind of 2 cents, and please jump in here and ask any question. Maybe if I didn't clarify something that everybody has their strengths and weaknesses. One of my weaknesses is sometimes I can get going a little too fast and I might skip something. So just don't hesitate. Just say, hey, hold on a second. I didn't really understand what you were talking about. So, so obviously there's my email and my American cell number. So if anybody ever wants to reach out to me, the great way to, those are my 2 contact information. And then that edit, the Dropbox click right there is the film that I'm about to show everybody. So here are my general thoughts on defense. And I will talk about David Vanderpool, which is our associated head coach, and he's actually in charge of the defense. The last 3 years, I was in charge of the defense in Sacramento. And when you're in charge of the defense, you get hit a lot. Just imagine sitting in coaches' meetings and saying you're going to defend pick and rolls this way and this way. And obviously, there's always some offensive geniuses in the room that says, well, I'll just do this to you and I'll do this to you. And I always just say, hey, no problem. That's why the score is never 0-0. So, be flexible in what you're talking about, but stay true to your principles. And kind of a great term that I heard once is you cannot catch every raindrop. So understand that the game's never going to be 0-0 and you're never going to catch every raindrop. And believe in what you believe and be ready to adjust and combine thoughts. And that's what I'm talking about. David Vanderpool and I thought we did a good job this year. I mean, he has his rules and he's in charge of that. And I've been able to just say, hey man, this is what we did, or this is how we said something. And it's just worked for us. So, especially with coaching staffs that change a lot, everybody's learned something from each place that they've been at. Be flexible to combine your thoughts. And again, the game is always changing. Obviously I just showed you the analytics thing. And during a game, one substitution can change everything. I don't know, every league's different. In the NBA, a lot of teams will put another small guard into the game and take a big out in one of their first substitutions instead of, you kind of you might have two bigs, you might have a shooting big, and then in one substitution, now you have four guards and one big. And it changes everything with one substitution. So, and then obviously learn from your team. Going back to David Vanderpool, he was in Portland for 7 years and really was able to grow their defense. In Sacramento, we were growing ours. And what I mean by learning our team is Willie Cauley-Stein and De'Aaron Fox last year in 2018-19 were in the second most pick and roll defensively together. And I would just communicate with them during the year, like, hey, what do you see? What are you guys talking about? What are you saying to each other? And make sure that those two, you know, your starting point guard and your starting five, make sure they're communicating. And they got really good. Their statistics got better and better as the year went on. And I was just having a conversation with Buddy Hield one day about pick and roll defense, and he talked about how him and Harry had just a good energy together. And I went back and looked, and he was right. That combination was so good. So I asked him, hey, like, what's going on with you two? And it's funny, they're both high energy guys. They said that they could yell at each other. They didn't take it personal. So, but it just worked for them. And then what you say, you know, I'll talk about this in the NBA. A lot of teams say weak or strong. And when I say weak or strong, here's the court. Weak would be anything going to the left hand, or strong would be anything going to the right hand. Now, okay, now what happens if you're playing with a left-handed player? Well, then strong would be to his left hand and weak would be to his right. So it does get confusing, and guys have to think, and the game is going so fast. So we in Minnesota, anything going to the left side is weak, and anything going to the right side is strong for us. Why I say that is Willie Cauley-Stein and Kosta Koufos, which Kosta is a very good pick and roll defender. You'll see some clips on him. They just said, hey, I'm on your right. I'm on your right. And it just worked for us. And especially Willie and De'Aaron, it was like, hey, man, I'm on your right. I'm on your right. And it was loud enough, and they said it early enough, and it was what just came out natural to him. So that was it just worked for us. So whatever you do, you know, learn from your team. And then, you know, for us, we have a rookie named Naz Reid, and you'll see it in the clips, and I'll show you. We wanted our bigs to be at least at the free throw line to retreat, to come backwards. And we always wanted to start them high so we can work them back instead of starting them low to make them come up. And Naz was a little nervous about it, and he got really good at it. He was a much better pick and roll defender than we thought, and even he thought. And so he would come up and could come retreat really well. And Carl, you know, for us, Carl Anthony Towns is back just because he's so big. So, you know, and I'll have some video on that. So that's just, you know, learning from your team. And then I kind of already talked about, you know, don't worry about what all the offensive people say all the time on your coaching staff. You know, the last one always has the pen. I always talk about. And I heard this quote. J.J. Watt is a defensive end from the Houston, Texas. He said, "Be stubborn in your goal. So whatever you want to do, be stubborn in what you want to do, but be flexible in your process." And it just kind of hit home with me a little bit. So this is just what I'm going to go through here. Hi, buddy. Okay, pick and roll areas. All right, and these are just options. These are kind of more options in the NBA. When we say center, okay, there's 5-6 different areas that I think you have to talk about in pick and rolls if you want to get to that far. In Minnesota, we're probably to the fourth one, a little bit. We not very many people have logo or corner pick and rolls anymore, just because I think they're easy to defend. And logo pick and rolls is this area, kind of wherever the logo of the team is. So when I say center, a lot of teams, where if the ball is here, their big will just stand back here and just say center, center, center. And it's the guard's responsibility to get over the screen and the big is helping. If the ball is here, he says center, and however the defender has to do it. The court is just open, and you say center, and whatever you do, it's the guard's choice to force them right, left, whatever, and they get over the screen. And the big is back with enough room to move his feet. No big deal. Okay. Half, which what I'm talking about, is left and right, or weak and strong, however you want to say it, blue or eye. Half it's basically, bad line there, sorry. I don't know if I can. Yep. Is about this area. Sorry, I'm not the best drawer in the world sometimes, but if it's over here, it's to the right. If it's over here, to the left, and it doesn't matter. You say it when the ball's here, you keep it down here. It's just real simple. Ball's on this side, it goes this way. Ball's on this side, it goes this way. Very, very simple. Okay. The third is this area. Okay. Up here is weak and strong, left and right, whatever you want to say. And then down here, you just force it down. Wherever the ball is, you just force it to the corner. Force it to the corner. Okay. And people call it blue. Some people call it ice. Some people call it down. So that is, that is your areas. That's a coaching preference, whatever, wherever you think is better. I think it, again, depends on your team a lot and how high you want your bigs to cover. There's different areas, different situations that I'll show in the clip that I think are really strong to have, your thirds, the middle and the sides. Okay. And then the last one, anytime the ball's in the corner, we had a term in Sacramento, blue by yourself. And if the ball was here, you would just force the ball here and you were kind of by yourself. You should be able to handle that. David Vanderpool has a great rule that I liked a lot. If the ball is here, or even if the ball is here and it gets driven, the big takes the ball right to the end of the backboard. Because really, what's a guard going to do in this area? Which I actually like that rule a lot. And again, I hope David Vanderpool and I are together for a long time. I hope he gets a head coaching job somewhere. I get a head coaching job somewhere too. And wherever I would go next, I would bring that rule with me. So those are basically the areas. And then I always think you have to have some rules where you give your players the freedom just to get under a screen, and that is too high. The ball's too high. And then with analytics, there's a lot of teams today that have a rule when the ball is inside the 3-point line, it's just an automatic under. Because if you set a screen here and they're going, then they would have to obviously take a big step back to shoot the ball, and you should be able to recover. So those are the areas that I talk about. I think you have to talk about the NBA in pick and rolls a lot. In the NBA, there's an average of 39 mid pick and rolls per 100 possession and 30 on the side. So you're talking about almost 70 pick and rolls per 100 plays. Atlanta is the high at 50 and almost 60 pick and rolls, obviously with Trae Young, and Chicago is on the leads on the side. Chicago will run multiple pick and rolls on one side, reverse the ball, and set another side pick and roll. And then another big part is I think you got to talk about how you double drags and splits, and we all know what those are. And then for me, I always kind of have in your league and whatever you're playing, what are the trends of pick and rolls? For the NBA, stack action is a big trend. Let me just get to a stack action. Sorry about that. I'll just get to this is stack action. You can see this is a guard, obviously Anthony Davis. He'll screen him in, and then he's going to come up and back screen the defender that's setting the high pick and roll. That's what we call stack action. Every team, and I shouldn't say every team, half of the league runs it. So I think you just need that in your base package. So we have it in ours, and that's what I'm talking about. Your stack action pistol V2, that for us, that just needs to be automatic. And then anytime you're talking about going over or under, especially under a player, what trumps it? If the ball's on the side, do you want to go under the pick and roll, or are you in your coverage? So, I honestly believe that's what's in your coverage. Okay. I kind of talked about this already. We always want to play 2-on-2 with a small area. And these are the rules that I have. And again, this is going to be on YouTube. You can go back to it and pause and read more of these. We say this all the time for our bigs: communication, presentation, stunt, contest, and box out. And at the very end, are you back to your big or are you switching it? Okay. There's a situation called a veer, and I'll show that in a tape. I personally want our bigs. Willie Cauley-Stein was really good at it. You start with your hands down, to kind of deflect the pocket passes, and your hands go up to protect the lob or to get the late passes over the top to the guards. Guards, your first thing is you need to influence it. Whatever your big tells you, that's what you do. You trust the command. And in film, you can always tell if the big is talking if you see your guards adjust their feet. War over the screen and pursue. We probably say for the big presentation, stunt contest the most. Probably more stunt contest than presentation, but we need a good presentation. And we tell the guards to pursue. Just keep chasing, keep chasing, keep chasing. The big will have a stunt contest. His presentation will be good. He'll allow you to get back in front of the ball. And you contest. You contest a shot from behind, or if you hear block or switch, you go back. And we contest shots and passes, hands down on pocket passes. It's just what we do. And again, with the other three players, they're in to be out. We want a small area, and the fourth defender, and I'll show that in the clips here. I believe in the fourth defender will always be able to support the pick and roll. Okay, switching, you honor the command. If you're on the ball and you're getting off the ball, you get under. If you're off the ball, going to the ball, your hips are above hips and you attack the ball. And after you switch it, bigs, you can't shoot a three. What I talk about fire or scram, if a big rolls a guard out, you just yell fire. If you hear fire in a room, what do? You kind of panic and you look around. If you hear fire, hey, look around, try to kick the small off the big. And then doubling the post, I'll show you a drill that we use for that. So, and another thing is the peel action. A lot of NBA teams kind of slip out, and I think you need to define what you want to do. Is it always going to be a switch, or if it's no screen, no scheme? If you have, I call it the Drew Holiday rule. Drew Holiday loves to be aggressive on the ball. If you say switch to Drew, he doesn't know where to go because nobody's touching him and he can't figure out where to run to. So, I just have that. So just if there's not any questions, I'm just going to kind of get to the film, and I can just kind of, it's much easier to talk about it. And again, please stop me if I did clear. So we talk about the rules. Just right now, Gorgie James in the pick and roll is the defender right here, and Shabazz Napier is guarding the ball. You can see just by him moving his feet, G's saying something. And for me, this is where G is. Gorgie James, very good. He's one of the best stunt contest guys. Just he's long and he has good timing. He's been in the league enough to know. So we're influencing him. He's yelling weak. So you could just tell the influence. He jumps to his leg, gets over the screen. Great presentation when the guard comes off the screen. This is what he sees right here. Okay. And this is a small area. And this is what I mean by a fourth defender. In the NBA, especially with anything in the high area, in the mid pick and roll area, the corners are going to be filled. And where is this fourth guy? Okay, I call this guy the fourth defender. We call this crowded. He needs to be in here to allow G to be even back farther. Again, we want to play this 2-on-2. There's zero advantage. I think this is Darius Garland. If he throws the ball here, this is an easy closeout. He can't get the shot off. We call this crowded. So this is a very good pick and roll defense. Comes off. And again, you have a late contest right there, and it's a non-paint shot, and it's a non-3. And another thing about this is I call this zero pass offense. It's a high pick and roll, and you're gonna live with that shot. That's a good defensive possession. Okay, it's in Sacramento again. You can see Willie Cauley-Stein is talking to Mon Shumpert just as he jumps out. Now we're gonna blue it. You can see Willie's hands. You can see Shump's hands because they're protecting against the pocket pass. I'm just gonna let this one run, and you'll see what I'm talking about. See how they protect the pocket pass? Very good job by the weak side being in. Okay. On our team here in Minnesota, Josh Okogie is one of the best guys at pursuing. Again, this is going to a crowded area. And I just want to take a second. This is Naz Reid. He's a 20-year-old rookie for us. And what I mean by starting guys up or down is when this happens, when a pick and roll happens, we started teaching our guys to start up. And now if the guard beats them, you cannot play 2-on-2. His responsibility, and this is very important for the bigs, your job is to keep your man and the ball in front of you at all times. To be able to play 2-on-2, very, very simple. We told Naz, hey, you need to just find your area where you come up and stop. You know, where is a point where you can still keep your man in front of you? And we were like, hey, talking about the free throw line. He felt very comfortable here, and you can watch his feet as he retreats. He's very good at that. He's got that quick little steps. This is a good pick and roll defense. And last thing I'm going to say on this one, I'm going to let it run. Watch Naz's head. He's yelling at Josh, strong, strong, strong. Just watch his head, and you can tell the communication's there. And Josh, again, is pursuing, and, we get a deflection. Again, weak, and again, stress high hands. Bogdanovich is here. Hey, you got to protect the pass and the shot. You got to contest the pass and the shot. And this is a really good possession. Pursue. You can't say it. You can't say it enough. Now watch Buddy Hields pursue and rear view contest. Great job. And now that allows Willie Cauley-Stein, again, remember, you're going to switch it, or you're going to get back to your big to box out. It's his job to contest the shot. It's not his job. His job is to get back to his big. He can't shoot the ball and both guys contest and Nurkic get an easy offensive rebound dunk. So watch Willie. Willie gets back and boxes out. Good clip. Again, here's a really good rear view contest by Yogi Ferrell over the top. Great presentation by Marvin Bagley. When he comes off the screen, that's what he sees. He feels Yogi, and that's what he sees. Kosta Koufos, I mentioned this before. Your presentation is big coming off the screen. That's great presentation by Kosta. Okay, we talk about stunt contests. Again, this is Gorgie Jang, and he's great at it. Watch his hands. What I mean by stunt contest, when you come back, you just want to throw your hands out a little bit. He gets a deflection here, but when you stunt contest and can make this offensive player retreat just a little bit or pause him just a little bit, that allows the guard to square back up. I'm going to see if I can turn the volume on for here, and you can hear G. He's yelling, blew it, blew it, blew it, and just see how many times he gets it out. It's a great possession by G. just by his ability to communicate and to stunt contest. Okay. Here's Willie Cauley-Stein. Again, now watch his hands start low, and his hands are active. Starts low, and now they go high. Start low. Just that one stunt contest by Carl. Again, Carl's smart enough. This is his area where he likes to start at. Nas got up a little bit higher. Him and G were about the same. So, Willie Cauley-Stein will be up because, again, he's athletic and he can retreat. This is just Carl's area. We went over the screen, and Carl's going to stab at the ball one time, right that, and then he gets back. It's pretty good. Rudy Gobert is a big-time lob threat. And again, watch Costa Koufos being back to box out. Doesn't contest the shot, and he's back to box out. It's very important. Okay. Kind of one of the last things here is you have to, when I talk about listening to your players, this is Harry Giles for us. He's a young, athletic, big, can move his feet, and Vucevic probably very skilled player, but Harry is a little bit bigger. When I talk about kind of the level of the screen, this is Harry knows that he can stay with Vucevic's role. So see his right hand is on his hip right here. And that's just, he wants to be a little bit higher, impact the basketball a little bit more. And he can get back to him. He's back when he catches it. Now Vucevic goes to play again. We get it blued again. Harry touches him and he's back. It's a very good possession. Here's Carl. Again, see where Carl's at. He's talking to Josh, gets over. And he's still, Carl's still stunt contest, and Josh is still chasing, gets a stunt contest, and Carl's back to box out. Okay. One of the things I think is very important on this side, playing 2-on-2, Willie Cauley-Stein, to be able to play 2-on-2, he cannot allow Harold to get past him. So he wants to stay at the level of the screen. And a lot of times bigs will come down here, and the moment the big gets in the coverage, they slip out and look for the lob. Okay. We have a rule that you have to stay at the level of the screen. You still have to see your big at all times. So I'm just going to let this run. Willie's very good at just staying at the level. Never has to impact the ball, but there's really no screen, so De'Aaron can get back. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about the other three guys. Okay. Bogdanovich. Okay. And the reason why we want to be in and out, again, guys are going to make mistakes. You got to be able to be flexible a little bit. I would tell Harry, you're outside your line. Here's your screen. Here's your man. And you are outside. But because the other three guys are in, watch where Bogdanovich is. As the ball goes away, Bogdanovich is going away. He's going closer to the ball. I kind of have a term, and again, I want to kind of stick to pick and roll defense, but this is just a general defensive term. The ball will tell you what to do. If your man is here and the ball is going away, it's telling you that you can be in more support. And so watch Bogdanovich. He knows he can get all the way back to the closeout. It's no problem. It's just fine. And again, that's they keep playing. Again, being in to be out. Okay, the ball was going away. Watch Bjelica here. Now he gets back out, and he's back to block the shot. But at a moment, as the ball's going away, he is into support. He does not have this man, is not tagging him, is not shoving him. He's just in to be in support. The moment Calderon picks up the ball, he sees Bjelica. And now Belly is smart enough to get back out and actually blocks the jump shot. This is a very good one. Ball's going away. I'm going to let this run. Watch Frank Mason as the ball goes away. He gets in, but then he gets back out. And gets a steal. Okay. One of the reasons why we have those rules, playing 2-on-2, this is what we want to avoid, the kick out threes. Anthony Davis really doesn't need to be there. And I don't want to go too much into this, but what we talk about direct and indirect pick and rolls, maybe you're okay. I'll just tell you how my life works. Maybe you can stand up. My wife just crawled underneath just so she wasn't in the video to get school supplies. It's a little, we're starting our last week of school, so she didn't want to be in the video like my little guy here. But we call this indirect and direct pick and rolls, and I don't know if you guys talk about this much, but what we talk about indirect and direct, anytime the ball handler or the screener shoot the ball, turn it over, or get fouled is one thing, okay? Or if they throw it to immediate one pass shot, this would be a direct pick and roll where it was one pass and a shot. And those are the things you want to try to defend as much as you can. Okay, this is directly off the pick and roll. We want to make him bounce the ball, dribble it, kick it to somebody else, and keep playing. And those are the things that you want to avoid. And I picked the clips for Luka Doncic just because obviously he's 6'8" or however big he is, and he has the ability to shoot. Now, again, we had a pick and roll, and now everybody helps, especially from the corner. And these are the things that we want to try to avoid. And you can do that by playing 2-on-2. And this happens a lot, especially on this one. The problem started right here, okay? He's still guarded. As much as we don't think that Luka's still guarded, we can still contest here. And AD just overhelps. I can say that because I actually coached Anthony Davis's first year, and there's not his first 3 years in the NBA, and there's not very many mistakes that he makes today. Small area. Let's just pause it once the screen and roll happens. The screen and roll happens. Pretty good picture. Okay. Good presentation by Willie, and look at the other three guys. It's a pretty good picture. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about when I talk about the fourth defender in the NBA, and I'm going to show some clips. They're just going to run some action here. They got a pin down. And at the end of the day, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 guards spread out and a pick and roll. We're going to help. We're going to support this pick and roll here. If he wasn't here, he would be obviously in a blue. We call this blue with 3. We're going to blue with 1, 2, 3 defenders. And he'll start saying corner filled, corner filled. And what that's telling Willie is he doesn't need to come all the way down here and follow the ball. Shump isn't supporting. Rule number 1 for Shump, he is not going to give up the corner 3, but he's just going to lend support. He's not lending help. He's lending support. And you can see that Willie can just back up even more. Here's another one. Blue with 3. See where Bogdanovich is. That's a great picture for us. It's blue with 3. We're lending support. He can back up and get closer to the roller quicker because at some point, Jamal Murray is going to dribble in to Bogdanovich. And just that support, I'm going to let it run. Watch Yogi Ferrell be able to square the ball even quicker. This happens a lot in the, and I apologize if you're getting a little skip on the computer. So am I. I don't know if it's, I showed this in the first clip. We call this a crowded area, okay? Chris Middleton is coming off a high pick and roll, and Marvin Bagley standing here. They put a lifted player here, and the reason why they do that is they want Henson to dive and Buddy Hield to tag him, and DiVincenzo would come up here for an open three-point shot. We want to take away the three-point shot, and how we do that is Buddy Hield doesn't have to help. He might support a little bit, but his responsibility is DiVincenzo up here. And just by Marvin being there in that area, will allow Justin Jackson to get back. And we call that crowded. And this is how it happens. And it happens a lot in the NBA. They're just going to play Justin's going to kind of slide through here and they're going to rescreen. So they actually wanted the action to come this way, but because of the rescreen, it's coming into a crowded area. And this happens a lot in the NBA. Slide under, rescreen, and they play. Again, 0 pass offense, we're okay with that. Here's another crowded side. And again, they're just playing here. Now watch Belizia right here. They come off and he's standing right there. And Harry Giles can get back to his big. And Buddy Hield doesn't have to tag or help, and we play. Now they got to play another possession. I'm just going to kind of give this term, and we use this for a lot of those offensive guys in the room. Again, try to go one way in a rescreen. And what a lot of offensive coaches will tell you is, okay, you're crowded this, right? Great. We're going to cut this guy. We're going to cut right behind you. We have a term called go action. And Buddy would just yell, go. Buddy would yell, go. And he would take the cutter and Shump would just go to the corner. And hey, I mean, this took us a while to get good at in Sacramento, but we got really good at it. So this is just kind of for higher level learning here. Go action, Buddy took them, and you go to the corner. And we were really good at it. So again, this is a good clip. Again, if you're looking for NBA players that are very good pick and roll defenders, presentation, stunt, and all those different things, Al Horford is one of the best. He's been one of the best for a long time, even when he was in Atlanta to Boston, now to Philly. He gets the communication called, okay? And now Tobias Harris is just standing in the middle. He is supporting Al Horford, especially with Sabonis, if they flatten the defense out. I think this is the hardest high pick and roll to play, but Al Horford's able to get back and contest a shot. Just a quick double drag. Some teams have different rules. I think you need to be very clear in your rule. For me, if the second big is in the coverage, De'Aaron's just going to go over, and now you're just in high pick and roll coverages playing 2-on-2. Some teams in the NBA, the first guy's in the coverage. More teams are putting a guard here. So if the first guy's in the coverage, this would be probably a switch, and then these two would have to play a pick and roll. If this was a big, you could just blue it with 3. So in this situation, we just played Marvin, and Marvin's pretty good. You can see De'Aaron Fox is pursuing, presentation, gets a little stunt contest, and we get a 0 pass offense contested shot. Here's just a couple switches. We all know switches. I just have 2 clips in here for switches. You can see Frank hips above hips, and he attacks the ball, gets a charge there. And then, we're always worried about a big on a guard. Actually, I think I have a little more than 2. Belizia denies the ball back to the guard. This is a switch. We call this a veer. In my opinion, this is my favorite way to switching. Iman Shumpert comes over the screen. He's still in coverage, and now he just peels back to the big. And we still get a contested shot from the big. We switch this and we peeled back. Mm-hmm. I'm a big veer guy. You just have your certain rules. This happens quick. Willie Cauley-Stein takes it. He calls switch. Now it's his job to contest the shot, and Buddy Hield has to get back into the legs of the roller. This is a pretty good clip. Pretty good fundamental clip. Now we always kind of say, again, offenses talk, hey, well, we're just post up the big. This is what we call fire or scram. They're going to get a pick and roll here, and De'Aaron Fox is going to end up on Gasol. Watch Belizia and Shumpert get De'Aaron out of there. We veered it. Now Belitia kicks him out, and actually Shunk kicks De'Aaron out to a guard. Now your rule with your veering is the guard cannot shoot a three. Watch Belitia veer, they switch it, pulls it back out, and Belitia goes with them. I think that's very important. And you can even tell on the backside, and now everybody watch the ball there. Now watch the weak side. Millsap rolls them, and Bogdanovich kicks him out. On the side, which I really like a lot, we're going to blue it, but we late switch it. We call it late black here in Minnesota. Switch, you take the ball on, and you can watch Buddy Hield go back to the big. I have a better clip here. They're going to blue it on the side and then late switch it. Blue it. Vucevic is down bluing, and now Fournier just peels back to the big. Okay, I'm just going to throw these two clips out. You know, a lot of teams in the NBA that, you know, our defensive have kind of gotten, I don't want to call it soft, but standing back, protecting the three-point line, a way to get your team aggressive. I told you, we talked about blue with three. Anytime for us, the ball is on the side and it's a step up, meaning the ball is going away, still going away from the basket. It's going to the corner, and the corner is empty. We are going to trap it. We called it dog. We're going to blitz a corner empty step up. And it was just automatic for us. And a lot of times on a DHO rescreen, it happens. And it's just something you can put in your defense. I like it a lot. And it gets your defense to stay aggressive. And one of the reasons why I believe in this is, I talked about this earlier, the NBA, there's a lot of angle pick and rolls. Here's Atlanta. Again, 4 guards out, angle pick and roll. Whatever's trendy, whatever your conference likes to run a lot, that's just, you know, whatever league your team, excuse me, you see a lot. You know, these are both the same plays. At the end of the day, it's kind of the same play. Here's Detroit. At the end of the day, there's one guy with the ball, 3-4 guards out there, and they're playing in an angle pick and roll. Utah, same thing, angle pick and roll. I mean, I just showed 4 different teams basically running the same play. Here's Utah again. Here's Sacramento. Here's the 5th team. Again, 4 guards out, angle pick and roll. That's Toronto. Okay. Again, here's Stack. I just talked about it. Here's the Pistons running it. Again, this has to be automatic for us. I don't know if your league sees it. A lot of teams, and this is how we handle it in Minnesota, which I like a lot. Most teams handle it this way. You're going to get over the screen. You're going to play this 2-on-2. But once you get over the screen, TJ Warren right here is going to attack the ball, and he is going to peel back off to the shooter. That's Aaron Collison. So you war him over, get him off the three-point line, and then your responsibility is done. You get back out to the shooter. You have bodies on bodies. We just saw this one earlier. And pistol, I think you have to have, what are you doing with your 1, 2s, and 3s? This is just pistol. It's some action to a side pick and roll. That's Brooklyn. Here's Chicago. And I had mentioned that Chicago leads the league in side pick and rolls. Here's one side pick and roll. And here's another one. I threw this clip on there. You know, this is, if you're an analytic team, you know, a lot of more and more NBA teams now are, if the screen is inside the 3-point line, you can watch Kyle Korver. He just gets under or through the screen. There's pistol, very, very simple. Okay. This is another, this is kind of, we call it V2 action. There's a guard, small or whatever. These three guys just get to play basketball. And we have rules incorporated in all this. 1-2 pick and roll, but again, ends up in an angle pick and roll. Okay. So these are some drills we have, and I'm going to kind of go through them quickly and describe what they are. And then if you want to go back, this is how we teach when we in Sacramento, what we did automatic anytime we switched and a guard was posted up by a big from the other team. And again, I'm a big person. This is me right here. I want to teach the drill. We talk about whole part whole. I want to teach the whole drill. Because I want the offense to do it right so we can teach it. And then we're going to talk about each part and what we're doing. And then we'll get back to the whole in the drill. And that's what we did. So we're playing here. We defended the first pick and roll. Great, bring it back out. Now we just defended it. Again, our rules, hips above hips, and you're going from on the ball to off the ball so you get under. Now Marvin's going to roll them out, and this is automatic for us. Ball goes in, De'Aaron forces them to the baseline, and who's ever on the bottom, we come. We actually called it blue because it's the same. If you were a guard and you heard blue, you would force baseline, and your support or your help was coming. So that was a very simple term for us. So I'm going to let the whole drill run. And then obviously at the very end, Willie Cauley-Stein and De'Aaron are going to be on a big, and De'Aaron gets out. And we just play basketball. Okay. This I'm going to describe this. This is kind of a complex drill, but it's a very good drill. It's probably my favorite pick and roll drill we do. It's a continuous pick and roll drill. All right. You're going to get a high pick and roll to a swing, to a side pick and roll, to a closeout. And now that group's done. Whoever is done here, this is Garrett Temple. He's going to throw the ball back to the top, and now he becomes the defender here. Okay. Darren Collison would stay here, and the pick and roll is going to go to the other side. And now Garrett Temple, which just started here, gets the closeout here. Aaron Afalo started the drill. He's done. He throws it, and he comes up top. And now he would play. And it's just continuous. So I'm gonna play it again. I just want you to watch Garrett Temple, just so you can get the progression of the drill. He goes from the ball handler. He's still on offense. That group is done now. Now he was a ball handler, so he goes to the top. He gets a high pick and roll. And now he's the stunt man to the swing. Great. He actually stays on. So he's defended a high pick and roll. He has supported it. And now he's going to guard a side pick and roll. And now his rotation is done. And the bigs just switch. You need a coach on the baseline to just tell the bigs. The bigs just alternate back and forth. Once you set a high pick and roll, as Costa Koufis does, he rolls. The other big comes up, presents himself, swings the ball to a side pick and roll, catches it and swings it. And now the bigs just switch. You switch them offense to defense, and it's a great drill. Okay. I'm a big fan of that drill. Now it takes a minute to teach it. Every clinic I've ever done when I'm on the court, I kind of get it going a little bit. And then once your team gets it, it's a great 3 or 4 minute drill. You can do a lot. And once your team gets the drill, hey, we're going to do continuous pick and roll drill. Everybody knows what to do, and it's fantastic. We would always have coaches on the side running it just because it keeps the pace a little bit. You can tell this is Jason March here, and this is Larry Lewis here. They really help the drill because they know what's happening. You can watch Larry Lewis kind of help the players in and out. Jason March is helping the players in and out. Okay. In the NBA, again, we talk about blue with 3. This is a continuous pick and roll drill. Again, 1 guard, 2 guard, 3 guard, 4 guard. They're all out there. This big is actually going to set 4 angle screens, and we're going to work bluing with 3 on all 3 of these guys. I mean, everybody's going to get a blue, and just watch the corner in all of them. There's 1. Okay. Once you play the pick and roll, your side switches. So I think this is Anthony Tolliver here. I don't know who this is, right? We don't have numbers on there yet, but they're just going to switch. So you get 1 pick and roll there, good blue with 3. Watch the corner. Here's Aaron Afalo presenting himself blue with 3. Here's the guy that just switched, backside exchanged. There's the 3rd pick and roll, and here's the 4th pick and roll. It's just called a continuous angle pick and roll. I'm just going to let it go so you can see it on video. It's a great drill. Again, you can tell this probably took 90 seconds. You flip it, and you might, if you have 4 bigs and you want everybody to do it, again, it probably takes 4 minutes. If you're against the Utah Jazz, we're probably going to run this drill and shoot around because we're going to see a lot of it. Okay. So that's kind of my presentation, kind of my clinic. Again, that video is on here. It's at the very top. All you got to do is click. It's just a Dropbox film, and any notes, anything you have, I'll send this to you, and you can see it. So I'm kind of open for questions. It's kind of my little spiel there, or my edit. I'm love to answer some questions.
Thank you so much for the presentation. It's very detailed, Coach, and I love the drill, the 4-on-4 drill. The continuous ball screen or continuous pick and roll drill. There's some questions, Doc
Yep.
Terry.
Coach, this is a question from Arif. How do you defend Spanish pick and roll action? What is the most
Spanish?
effective way?
Spain, Spain pick and roll.
Like, what do you? I don't know. I don't understand what Spain pick and roll is. Is that a term?
It's where I think you shown it earlier. Like it's the screener after screening for the one with the ball, he will roll, and then there's a back pick for him.
Right here,
like a Spain ball screen. Similar to this. Yeah. There, yeah. That action.
It?
Yeah, that action.
Okay. All right. So this is how we do it. I'll break this off into your rules. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a little bit of we will start yelling stack. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hopefully the coaches can see it. These 2 guys in the corner's responsibility, they see everything. Once they see this action, they just start yelling stack, stack. The moment the 5 or who's ever defending the ball, the screener, here's stack, he just gets back. He tries to get, don't get screened. On ball, your job is to do what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to send it weak or strong, whatever Usually for us, we try to tell the player is a weak or strong. We want to send the player to their non-dominant hand. Okay. So he is going to stay in his rules and force him out. At some point, whoever is defending the screener is going to kick him back out, and he peels back or switches, and he just goes and finds the shooter. We got him off the 3-point line because we went over the screen. We got him inside the 3-point line. Once that happens, you peel back and we just switch it between the guards. I think, yeah. Here's 2 versions of it. Stack, 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 go over. TJ Warren kicks him back out, and we're good. Here it is again. I actually think Troy Daniels screens Anthony Davis into it first. We go over the top, and now we peel back. Both versions is how we deal with it. This one's kind of interesting because you can see Dante Exum is on the ball here. Watch him just look around. He knows that he's got to switch it. He's just kind of got to find his guy, and it takes him a second. But still, we keep bodies on bodies, and we're good. Did that answer the question?
Yes. Very clear, Coach. There's one more question, Doc Teddy.
This is a question from Thad. Coach, how can we defend a rescreen and screen away? For instance, a situation wherein a screener has a mid-range shot, sort of like a Carmelo Anthony type of player. Thank you.
Okay. I think some of those times you can just, with a 5, I just guard it again. With a non-shooting big, just guard it again. We had a rule in New Orleans that I liked a lot. On a rescreen, we just switched it. There's an automatic switch, especially with a shooter. If you defended it high somewhere, it was just an automatic switch. And I actually think that should be in your package too. For us in the NBA, there are rescreens, but the game's just so fast right now that guards don't wait. We actually don't talk about rescreens as much as we used to. If that's in your league, I would do, and I would make it very clear. One of the things understanding it in a rescreen is probably inside the 3-point line because maybe they tried to get some kind of advantage but did not. So now they're going to rescreen it, and it's probably inside the 3-point line. So you can go under it again if you want.
There's one more question from Jian Chen. Dr. Teddy, if the opposing team.
I don't have that, Coach.
Oh, it's here. If the opposing team got guys like Lou or Trey, which is hard to stop their 2-man action, how do the Wolves defend this sort of plays if you have a very good point guards against
like
a very
Trey,
good point guard?
Is he talking about Trae Young or Luka Doncic?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Well, to be honest, for us, we put Josh Okogie on him. I talked about this earlier. Josh Okogie for us is probably our best pursuit guy that we have on our team. Right here, Josh is phenomenal at it. He pursues. Sorry, it's a little choppy here. I mean, he pursues and pursues and pursues. Let me see if I can get it just a clip by itself. Yeah, sorry, it's just it's choppy because we're trying to broadcast it here and I'm at home. But Josh Okogie is a pursue guy. One of the things about Trae Young, and we talk about this. Some teams talk about it, some teams don't. Again, it's just your philosophy. We talked about where the big picks the ball, where he determines where he can how high he can come depending on who this player is. And he can keep this man as a roller and the ball in front of him. It's the same thing with where you pick the ball up with this guy's ability to shoot. Damian Lillard, Trae Young, Steph Curry, the guys that can, that can make this shot that's out here, you're going to have to pick them up a little bit higher than you want. We call this a point of pickup. Where do you pick up the ball? Where does your pick and roll coverage start? With non-shooters, are you going under even in this area? I mean, you can't go under against those players. I mean, you can't really even go under on here. There's teams. Philadelphia has a line on their practice court that is like right there. Sorry, it's not straight, but it's equal, and they call that the 4-point line. Anything outside of that line, they go under. Anything that is inside, they pick the ball up and they're in coverage. So the better the shooter, the higher you have to pick them up. And with that being said, you really have to trust. There's a Kemba Walker right here. You really have to trust your guard's ability. I mean, that's a 3-point shot. Okay, where do you pick up Kemba Walker? See, Yogi Ferrell's pretty high. There's a lot of players in the NBA that you can just get under this screen. Kemba Walker is not one of them. So you go over the top, and you got to trust your rear view contest. Once you get screened, you got to keep chasing. And obviously nowadays, Trae Young comes off and he'll stop and pump fake and try to draw a foul. You really got to be disciplined. This takes a lot of work. We work at it. Do I have a time limit here, or are we good?
No, we're good.
Okay.
We can.
I know it's late. I mean, I understand it's late there. That's why I'm asking.
You got 11% on your battery. Some of our
do I?
coaches, are scared we might lose you.
I can change that in like 2 seconds.
Shout out to Coach Gilbert Lau for.
I appreciate that. I to be honest with you, if you can see my screen, your picture is above my battery, so now we're good. So
there you go.
Can I do this here?
All right. Yeah.
So yeah, we have a drill that I really like a lot. Actually, if you give me just a second, I think I have it pulled up here on my Fast Scout. I think, I showed those 2 drills, and obviously the first time going through it, it's kind of tough, and you're trying to coach where to have your players be, and you just want to run the drill correctly. Once you get those 2 drills in, I mean, it goes quick. We developed a drill this year in Minnesota. We put a coach here, and we would have a big come set the screen and another big defend it. And his job was to read the coach. If he came off, all right, and he got too deep over here, he would work on a stunt contesting and his back to the big. And we got pretty good at it. I think here, I drew it up it's right here. So here's the coach. In the other clinic, I walk through it here. Here it is. Coach would come set a screen. He'd come off, and he would just pursue, and he'd work on his rear view contest. Once that was over, he would come set a screen here, and he would work here. And we just worked very individual, very individual. Here's another drill that I really like, just for everybody. It's this screen right here. It's teaching your team to be in, to be out. Okay. The ball starts here with and the defender's just in the middle of the floor. And to be honest with you, you can do this with 2 or 3 lines. Okay. You can have a group of guys here, group here, and then you can have another line here and here. He just attacks. He attacks. And he is reading them. He'll throw the ball here, and he just gets out and closes out here. Now he stays here. This guy is next. And now whoever just caught the ball, he attacks, and he is the defender. And he gets back out and closes back out here, and it just keeps going. And it's a great way to teach your team, hey, listen, be in. We want you to be in, supporting your teammates, making that a small area, and now get out. That's just kind of another drill that I like. But again, simplifying your drill the best way you can, and work on this. To answer your question, to defend those guys, I mean, you got to have a little sense that you want to be a good defensive player, but more importantly, pursue. I think I started with it. Your guards have to pursue and contest. You know, that's in pick and roll defense. There's so many times guards say, I can't hear the bigs. Yeah, you can. Your guy's standing up there dribbling the ball. You know what's about to happen. So there's my answer for you.
Doctor, some more questions on our Q&A?
This is from Coach Lawrence. How do you defend the Warriors' elevator screen for Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson?
The elevator screen, that's not a pick and roll, which is fine.
Yes, it's not
Which is okay.
a ball screen. Yeah, well, yeah. That's
okay. Let me see if I can knock this out. This is what you're talking about when he comes through the middle?
Yeah.
Okay. Wherever he's at, wherever the 4's at, if he's on the inside, whenever he comes out, he gets on the high side and he takes them. If they're flipped, and he comes on the outside to take them. Now, again, this is where I talk about the last one that has the pin wins. This is what I'm talking about. Now you're going to hear coaches talk about, well, I'll just move this guy out. Awesome. You just move that guy out. Now he's just going to stay with his own. As he comes off, now it's just a single screen. We always switched it with the 4, and that was automatic. Yeah. Teams,
yeah,
I mean, some teams, you know, that's more of an out of a timeout, ATO more, you know, obviously in the NBA. The Philippines runs the same. You guys have automatic timeouts?
Yes, we do have the TV timeouts, yeah.
Yeah, TV. So that happens a lot more during timeouts for them.
Please discuss defending pick and pop situations.
Veer. The veer. Anytime you're playing against, I have too many screens open here. Sorry. Hope this is the New Orleans clip. Yeah. Veer. I love this more than anything. Veer. If Randall wanted to pop, you just veer it. Go right back to the big. It's an over the top and switch. Very simple. And on the side, Porzingis is going to set the screen and pop. Evan Fournier is just going to go back to him. Very simple. We have guys in our scouting report, we call it late black, where we go over the top and our black is our switch. You just go right back to him. Simple. We keep bodies on bodies. If you want a good veer team, Boston is a very good veer team. And to be honest with you, in Minnesota this year, I thought we were pretty good at it too.
All right. From Nana, all the way from Ghana, would you recommend pick and roll offense to increase point per possession? If no, what would you recommend to increase points per possession?
Anytime. Anytime you play in any action, hold on. Can you still hear me at all?
Yes, yes.
I don't think so. Sorry, you can't hear my volume on the screen, can you? On the basket. I have the volume of the video, so I got to turn. Okay. Anytime this happens, anytime you draw two guys to the ball and hit a wide open person, first rule, he's got to do something quick. Like he got to shoot it, drive it, pass it. As any time, I think holding the ball. We all remember San Antonio Spurs when they won their last championship. They had a rule of 0.5 seconds. They could only hold the ball for 0.5 seconds. They just had to catch it and do something with it. And I think more offenses have that. I mean, respectfully, I hope you can understand this. Atlanta runs the most pick and rolls in the NBA because they have Trae Young. Dallas is the most efficient because they have Luka Doncic. I think you have to tailor it to your team. I mean, I know that's just in general. I personally think you need to have an early offense more than anything. What are you playing out of? The NBA plays a lot out of where they're able to get into it quick and let the offensive talents become. To be honest with you, I think basketball offense is two things. I think the first thing is your spacing, where everybody's at when the action happens. And number two is patience. If you have patience and spacing, the details take place. And what I mean by this is your spacing. The action is happening. The action's happening right now. Where are the other three guys? Whatever you're doing, even if you're doing a pin down, if Darrell Wright is pinning down for Kleber, I mean, if these two guys are going to be in some kind of play or action, where are these other three guys at? Where's the ball at? So many times this happens. I hope that I just need to get this back up. So many times action happens and your spacing is wrong, or you're allowing a team to help. I think that is one of the toughest things, is one of the most killers to offense that happens, is you're just allowing teams to help in a situation. There was a clip in here from Sacramento right here. The action's happening, right? He is not helping the situation at all. He's allowing Belizia to be in support here. Now, if he was here, maybe that lane might be open, but you're allowing the action. Teams are playing faster and faster. You're just allowing him to support you. So again, patience and spacing, I think, are the keys to everything. When you're running, every coach does this. They run 5-on-0, back and forth, especially at the latter parts of the season, when practice time is smaller and games are happening more and more. When the action happens, worry about the other three players. Like, stop. You can't be there because your help or support, you're allowing the team to defend you. So I know that probably didn't answer your question, but figure out, write your best three players' name on a piece of paper and start designing your offense that way. But stay true to your principles. Again, I'm going to go back to this statement can be offense and defense. Be stubborn in your goals, but be flexible in your process. Be flexible, be stubborn in what you want to run and how you want to get there, but be flexible in how you do it.
One of our attendees, what's the best way to defend a pick and roll if you have a slow big man?
Okay. If you have a slow big man, let me get to it here. Okay, here's two. And I'm not, Carl has actually very good feet. You can see him in his offense. He gets to figure out where his point of pickup is, where he is. Carl likes the free throw line. I think everybody can at least be at the free throw line. Carl likes the free throw line. That's just where Carl likes to engage in the defense. Okay. Another one, Kosta Koufis likes to be back. See where he's at when he's back, but his presentation is great. Anybody can lift up their arms. His presentation is great, and we are warring and coming over. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where's my Nas Reed one? Again, look where Nas is. Nas has the ability to be a little bit higher. If you have a big, slow guy, allow him to be back in this area in the pick and rolls. The guard just got to work a little bit harder and get over, no problem. But allow him to be back. His rule, he's got to keep the ball and his man in front of him regardless. He gets to pick his spot. Let him be flexible in his spot where he can engage in the defensive play. I hope that answered that question.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I mean, just to be honest with you, Tim Duncan at the end of his career would stay right here. They would call center, which I talked about earlier. DeAndre Jordan stays back there, but DeAndre stays back there so he can direct everything. Tim Duncan would be right back here in pick and roll coverage, but their guards just had to work harder. They had to get over the screens and keep pursuing and chasing.
Dr. Eddie, there's a question from Coach Olsen.
Yeah, Coach Olsen is asking if you're icing the ball screen on the side, which counter gives you the hardest time to defend? Thank you.
Which counter?
Yes, Coach. Gives you the hardest time. Which is the counter that's hardest to defend?
Definitely the pistol action. When you have to navigate or you have to control two other pick and roll, a pick and roll before it. This action right here. Now this is Joe Harris, which is a shooter. Does he set the screen or does he slip out? And now who's ever guarding the ball has to navigate this and now navigate this. When I mean navigate, he's got to defend. He's got to defend this action real quickly. Sorry, Mike, about the, because I'm streaming this to you guys. It's just choppy a little bit. He's got to defend that, and now he's got to defend that. And it's the ability to have to change your feet. That's one of the reasons why I think it should just be automatic. Like, what are we doing here, and what are we doing here? Just so your players don't have to think. They just know exactly what they're gonna do. And I think the more you can switch it how they do it here, how New York does it here. They switched it, and now they blew it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is a great, when I talk about level of the screen, watch Taj Gibson right here stay the level of the screen. And this is very well coached offensively and defensively. Jared Allen doesn't roll straight to the basket. He rolls out a little bit. Watch his path that he comes out, and then watch how Taj Gibson adjusts his feet to Jared Allen's path out. I think this is really good. And again, great act last time, great active hands here. on both.
Coach, all the
That
yeah.
go ahead. No, go ahead.
All the videos will be on that Dropbox because
Yeah,
our attendees
yeah.
are asking. All right, so
Yep.
I'll share that the Dropbox link. All right. Doc Teddy, I know you're waiting for my cue to ask Coach Bryan here your question.
Coach Bryan, during
Yep.
your time in the G League, the USBL, and your 11 years in the NBA, could you kindly give me the 5 qualities that you feel a basketball coach should possess in order to be successful? Thanks, Coach.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, my best qualities that I don't say got me where I'm at today, but what I cherish the most, just for me, is number one, my relationship with the players, and I'll kind of go on number 2 with that. I consider myself very well prepared, and how so my preparation in everything that I do. I think especially from a head coaching standpoint, we don't ever want to waste the players' time. If we're going to ask the players to come in for practice, and even when we're coaching a game, we better be prepared. And I'm very prepared in what I do. And that's from a head coach. From an assistant coaching standpoint, if coach says, hey, we're going to go 2 ends for practice, you have 4 minutes. My 4 minutes is going to be very organized and very prepared. I'm going to map it out on my piece of paper. If I have 1 coach or if I have 5 coaches helping me, I don't know what I have. When I find that out, I'm going to adjust it. So that 4 minutes of drill that I'm going to always do, I'm going to be great. Okay. And then my presentation. So my relationship with the players, I think that should be on everybody's. If you can't have a relationship with your players, and I think the time that we're in right now with the COVID virus, it's, are we communicating with our players? Are we texting them? Are we in a relationship with them? I think that is so valuable right now. So, and then how I earn that is my preparation, and then my presentation with it. And what I mean by your presentation from a coach, when they walk in the locker room, what do they see? If you have a board, is there a game plan? If you give them a scouting report, if I gave you a video, what's my presentation of what I'm doing? And preparation and presentation, I think, are the same thing, but they're very different. You can be prepared, and then your presentation gets all thrown off. And I think that is a big part. And the presentation is a big part, is being able to adjust a little bit. And then just to tell you, as a head coach in Boise, Idaho, we had a rule. Our defensive rule was we had 5 guys against the ball. And what I mean by that is, regardless of whatever defense we had 5 guys against the ball. So if they scored, it was nobody's fault. It was all of our fault. And we would try to fix it. Or if they scored the way that we had planned for them, who cares? Play on. It was, and this is my golden rule, is your job as a coach is to get everybody on the same page. Like you asked about the elevator screen, how to defend the elevator screen. Great. All 5 guys have to be able to be on that same page. And I think that's a cardinal rule. And then the last thing, and I learned this the hard way. I actually coached a year in Beirut, Lebanon. I was 31 years old, and I went over there, and I'd prepared myself enough watching the league on film before I got there, and I had a game plan of what I thought would work. And I just had some people, and it was hard. I mean, we were a very young team, but I thought if we could grow, we had a couple tournaments. We had the first half of the season, then we had the second half of the season, and we were good enough to be in the playoffs. But I was just like, hey, if we can make this a gradual pace, we could do some things. And I had a plan, and it was tough. We won some games, and then we lost a couple. and we lost a couple games still sticking to the plan that was working. And I had people convince me to get out of it. Like, hey, don't run that anymore. It was an offense that I thought was really good. And they were like, don't run it anymore. And I listened to them, and man, we came back and lost in the second half of the season. I think we were 21-7 maybe, and came back, and then we lost 3 games in a row, and I got fired. And I'll always remember that, and my trainer, which, he was awesome. He was like, Coach, be yourself. Be yourself. He's like, you're not yourself. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, just be yourself. Do it your way. And, again, going back to it, be stubborn in my goals, but be flexible. I wasn't stubborn enough to do what I wanted. I could have added some things to make it better, maybe, but I changed it. And to be honest with you, you can hear my voice. It still haunts me to this day, and I give our head coach, Ryan Saunders, a lot of credit. He's 34 years old, and he is himself all the time. And I watch him, and I go back, and I wasn't that way at the same age, and it hurts me. So to answer your question, relationship with your players is everything. And how I get to my relationships is my preparation and my presentation and my ability to get everybody on the same page, and then be yourself. I can't emphasize that enough. If you're prepared, and how your delivery to the message that you're sending your team is how they can hear it, and it puts you on the exact same page, you can be yourself, and they will play their asses off for you.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Coach, I would like to thank you for your time and sharing with us. And I've been getting a lot of feedbacks that you're probably the most detailed coach that we had ever had guested here in our webinar series. And we thank you so much for all the presentation, for the excellent presentation.
Okay.
Coach, any parting words for our attendees?
No, I won't have any parting words, because I hope to hear from everybody. So we'll see you another day, and I'll email you this Word document, and
yes, please.
And tell me if you have, email me if you're having problems clicking on this. I think I just clicked on it. We'll see what happens here. I think the video just comes up, and there you go. So that's all you got to do is click on it.
I'm sure.
And we'll go from there. Gentlemen, have a great night. I know we're almost flipped, so you guys have a great night, and I'm gonna have a good morning. I got 3 days left of homeschool, and then school is out. School is out at the gates.
Triplets. Wow.
Third grade.
Third grade. Right. But thank you so much, and hopefully we can visit you. We can visit you there in Minnesota sometime, and you also visit here in Manila.
Would love it. Absolutely would love it.
Thank you. All right. For our attendees again. Bye, Coach. For our attendees, I'm gonna bring in our representative from InSTAT. So as promised, the Hoop Coaches International partnered with InSTAT, and we have Sopon Lilom here, who can speak Filipino, so Tagalog. Kayang mag-Tagalog ni Sopon. Sopon, can you turn on your mic? So Sopon is from InSTAT. Okay, I know that Coach Gates was able to show us a lot of videos, and I was able to play or to experience InStats that Sopon gave me an access to, and it made me sleepless for how many days already, just watching all the films. That's so much information, and I think it's a very good tool to have. And we have coaches here from Indonesia. I see some coaches from Vietnam, some coaches from, of course, Malaysia. My former team are here, and of course a lot more watching on YouTube. And as promised, we'll have access, 1 month access, courtesy of InSTAT. It's a partnership with Hoop Coaches International. It's gonna give a 1 month access. But to talk to you more about InSTAT is Sofon. I'd like to give
Yes.
you the opportunity to introduce
Okay. Thank you
InSTAT.
very much, Coach. My name is. I'm sorry. This is my first webinar. Kind of nervous, very nervous actually. But thank you very much for inviting me for during this webinar. Mabuhay and magandang gabi sa mga Pinoy. I'm pure Thai. Let me introduce myself first. I'm pure Thai. I've lived in the Philippines for 25 years. So I'm Thai blooded, but my heart's always in the Philippines. Okay, let's leave with that. I'm one of the well, I'm the only representative or the manager taking charge or in charge responsible for InSTAT here in Thailand and the Philippines. What are we based? What is our main function here? Is InSTAT is used here in Thailand as for football, basketball, futsal, volleyball, and hockey, both all over the world. We're number one in the world. Aside from that, InSTAT is an IT company based in Russia. For those who doesn't know what InSTAT is, okay, we are the worldwide leader in sports statistics and analytics. We're known for being the market leader in sports statistics and video performance analysis. Okay, so let's not. I know this is you guys have heard the conference with Coach Gates for quite a while, so I won't take too much of your time. I'll go straight to the point to show you what Coach Gates. I will use Coach Gates as an example, his videos, and I will interact the videos of what InSTAT can do. Okay, so I'll share my screen. Is it share? Share. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So, InSTAT. This is our main page as InSTAT Scout for basketball. This is how the interface looks like. The platform itself. Okay. When you acquire the account, meaning you will have you will be given, well, you're supposed to give me your email address or contact details. I'll discuss that later. You have your email address. You'll be given email address and your your password. These are your login details and a link towards InSTAT. The orange one, this is for InSTAT basketball. The green one is for InSTAT football. And simply log on. And you have this. Now you're in our database. You have access to all teams all over the world. And trust me, when I say that we have the most data all over the world, every single team, almost every single players, most of the players actually, all over. This is here on the upper right hand corner is your language. This apparently we only have this much language that it's available. And here, this is your smart search bar. You can actually search anything you want. Let's start with the Philippines. We want to see the national team of the Philippines. Oh, here, I'm sorry. At the bottom here is a list of recent visited places or teams that you've visited before. You have it here, easier access. So I have here, let's say Philippines. So I type in Philippines and wait for it to come out. Philippines. When you type in Philippines, this means the national team. And all the data that we have among the teams, 3x3, 3x3 under 18, or 3x3 under 23, and so on and so forth. When you come to the Philippines itself here, you see this is the national team. Click on that. And it brings you to this, our main page. Well, let's put this aside. Okay. As you can see, on the let's start here. This is the main. This is our display of the field goals. Before I forget, every single button on this page is clickable, meaning when you click on something, it will take you to another page wherein it will show you videos or data. Okay, so let's say for the field goal. With a field goal, you can click as many as options. You have a lot of options wherein what do you want to see? What's important to you as a team? Or let's say you want to see pick and roll. For example, 2 points or 3 points, you can click all that. On the right side, this is the data of each game. Okay, wherein, as you can see on the top here, this is your settings. Like you have the field goal, you have the 3 points, and so on and so forth. What is important to you? You can change that by clicking this on the setting button right here. Maybe these things, these topics is not important to you per se. You can change that by clicking this and choose
Which one?
which one is your interest. Which I'm pretty sure we have every single detail that you need. Okay, so you can click that. That's what's so important about this. Okay, let's go back here. And one, video summaries. With the video summaries here, on this bar, as you can see, you can click on that bar and you have either what data you want to see. Your last 3 games, your last 5 games, your last 10 games. Apparently, we only have the last game that Philippines played with was with Iran. This is the data we have. So click only click Iran. Okay. And this is your, what do you want now? With you have after clicking Iran, that's the last game. Well, that's a game that we have analyzed. What do you want to see? You want to see some drives? Oh, there's no drive. Hold on 1 second. 2-point shots, all. You have 30, right here, it says here, you have 37 videos.
clips, yeah.
Yes, that's right. You want to see the clips? Go right in straight to the clips. Okay. Let's pause here for a minute. Okay. We need to enable your, first of course, before you do anything, you need to enable your Flash player. Allow. Why so? Because one of the main features that InSTAT has, like, for example, what Coach Gates said earlier. For example, you want to edit in whichever way by adding picture. Let's say these are video clips, yeah?
Yes.
These are really video clips. What you can do is, with this option, is you can edit by adding, for example, at this moment, you can tag your player. See?
You could put shapes or you can put emphasis.
Yes. You can tag each player and so on and so forth. And let's move this to the blue guy. Sorry. Change that, erase that by on this other side. Let's retag, for example, this player and this player. Let's just say that when you float on top of each icon, as you can see, this is air pass, ground pass, or moving straight, or moving by zig or by curve. So let's just say that you want to show your player, or this particular player, what you want him to do actually is move forward from here to here, wherein you can add another option, this one, position here, for example, and this guy here supposed to do a air pass to him, wherein this person will be able to make a shot. Let's change this color to green, and so on and so forth. With this, you save, or you can put text by saying fast break, or so, oh, sorry, fast break. Okay, let's say save, save this clip. Now, once it's saved, you have this button. You can share this
Oh.
list directly to the player, and that, and say you should have done this instead because we're at the last 2 seconds of the fourth quarter.
So it will be shared by email,
Yes, sir. That's
and
right,
he can
Coach.
download it on
Yes,
his phone or his on. All right.
that's right.
Excellent.
InStat application is accessible with Android and iPhone.
Mhm.
Okay, you can download that InStat basketball into your iPhone or into your Android.
Oh,
So this is
really?
how this thing works. Yes, that's right. So this is how that works. So you can actually, with Coach Gates a while ago saying that if for example his pick and roll didn't work, what we can do, or what as a coach can actually forward the mistakes to your players and show them that what could have been done to make the game a better game. Okay, this is the most important part of our InStat. Aside from all the data and the information that we have. Okay, let's go back. Hold on 1 second. Any questions so far? I'm sorry if I'm going a bit fast.
No, none so far. But if like it's not only videos, right? Like I'm seeing a lot of stats here.
Yeah.
Right? So you will have access also to the stats of the games.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me jump. I'm sorry, Coach. Let me jump into this.
All right.
Remember, Coach Gates was referring to Nas Reed's, one of his new players that came in. I searched up his name into our scout database, and this is what I have. Okay, this is all his data. His video summaries, offense, defense, his matches.
So he was mentioning that he's very good at ball screen defense.
So let's look for ball screen defense.
Yeah.
Ball screen defense.
Here at the defensive actions.
Defensive action, ball screen. Hold on, what? Positive. Screens. Opponent screen.
Yeah. Opponent screen. And opponent's pick and roll.
An opponent pick and roll.
On top. Yeah. That tree. You can. Yeah.
This one, yeah.
Yeah.
40
so
films.
Show 40 films on it. So
yeah.
if you click on that film, you'll see all those ball screen possessions that he defended.
Yes, that's right.
All right.
On here, against who, what date, what time, and so on and so forth. You'll have all this here. And now with this, having this in your hand, if you want to edit, you always can edit right here by adding picture, adding details, or so on and so forth. Okay.
Yeah. Just a question. How like if we play tonight, when will the tag or the video analysis be available to the team?
That's a very good question, Coach. If the video is uploaded, because InStat is not, we download the videos, we try to find the videos. If it's live on YouTube, give or take, we give a maximum of 48 hours, depending on how much games or how much work is being done at that moment. We
Mhm.
have a specific department, the video department, that downloads all the videos
Mhm.
and analyzes the
Target.
videos.
Yeah.
I
All
don't
right.
want to I don't want to say that it's within 48 hours, within 24 hours. Actually, it's possible.
Mhm.
If
Because
and
yeah, because some of the teams play like back to back or day after, so they'll be, they'll.
if you demand if you demand uh that fast of a data or
Mhm.
analysis, what we strongly suggest is that uh
Send you the video
that's
after the
right.
game, right? Yeah.
That's right,
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah. Yeah.
All I'm assuming 100% that every game or every team down or video or
Yeah. We'll have
record their own
access.
games.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can post, you can upload your video to us.
Yeah. Send the video.
We yes, we don't want, as much as possible, we do not want to promise that it can be done within 24 hours.
Mhm.
We need to give or take a span of 48 hours, but
Mhm.
we will promise you that we will finish it as soon as possible.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We have a question in from Russell. Does if does it have videos and stats from high school, non-professional, or commercial leagues around the world?
High school, not yet.
Mm-hmm.
The way we upload our data, or the way we upload our players, is as long as each player is played in a professional division for a season, that's when it's being uploaded right away.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly it's professional. What we have is maybe in college basketballs, some,
Mm-hmm.
or let's say, for example, if if a if the team that we don't have, but they buy our scout, what happens is we will capture all their games,
Mm-hmm.
download all their videos if it's being shown or
Mm-hmm.
televised.
And also their opponents' games.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
we
if yeah, if a UAAP team, I know Coach Olsen Rosella is in attendance. So if like FEU, his Far Eastern University, a UAAP team here in the Philippines, if they get your service, so you will also have will upload other teams games
yes,
like Lasal games, UP games,
it's a
plus
must.
their games. Yeah,
It's a must.
because they'll be scouting, or you'll help them scout their opponents.
That's right.
All right.
Uh, let me jump into another topic wherein is
All right.
InSTAT has two. We have two. Well, actually, we have two main products
Mm-hmm.
or services. Let's say
Mm-hmm.
services.
All right. All right.
One is our Scout.
Have. The other is reports. Reports is automatic. Hello, can you hear me?
Uh,
Can you hear me?
hello.
Hold on 1 second.
I don't. My audio. It's yours. Suddenly, it's a bit.
I think something wrong with my speaker. Hold on 1 second.
It's just a bit low.
It got disconnected. Hold on 1 second.
All right.
Can you hear me?
We can still hear you, but not as well as the last time.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Maybe he can just use the microphone of his computer.
Yeah, can you hear me now? Yeah.
Yes, better.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry about that. Okay, let's put that back on. Okay. So we have Scout and Reports.
Mm-hmm.
Reports is another is a different kind of. It interfaces with each other,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a different service
Mm-hmm.
wherein you can have what we call next opponent report, wherein let's say FEU will play against LaSalle. What happens is we will grab the last game of, let's say, if I use our client, we will
Mhm.
grab the last game that LaSalle played and analyze that game. Maybe the last game they played, LaSalle played against was against Ateneo. So
Mhm.
we will analyze the game of Ateneo or LaSalle.
Mhm.
Okay, both teams, and we'll analyze. You'll have statistics and all the numbers and analytics, the positionings, the data,
Mhm.
the InSTAT index, positionings, and so on and so forth. A team report usually looks like this. Oh, this is team report. This is Philippines against Indonesia national team. This is how the reports looks like.
Mhm.
That's 14 pages to 20 pages of data will be emailed to the specific account. Maybe
Mhm.
Coach Ariel, you're the coach of FEU.
Mhm.
Data would be, or rather, this data or report will be emailed to you directly,
Mhm.
where you can print out and see how each individual players are played, or how their performance or their box score. You see all the data, all the non-offensive rating,
Mhm.
defensive
Mhm.
rating, and so on and so
Mhm.
forth.
Mhm.
This is your typical game report.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, and we have another one which is called the players report, where like here, individual players. Bachman, this is his data. All these data, lineup statistics, team statistics, box up, all with him. Defense, defended field goal charts,
Mhm.
the matchups, field goals by matchups, and so on and so forth. How many
Mhm.
points against who, against what? This is our players report.
Mhm. Mhm. So
So
like individual player report, yeah.
that's right. That's right.
Mhm.
This is another kind of service.
So it's different from the scout service. This one.
Scout service, you can actually view it yourself
Mhm.
by accessing all these data here,
Mhm. Mhm. So
right
it
here.
is so if you buy the service of InStat, you get both, or you have to get one or the other.
Well, actually, you have to get one or both. You can get both,
Mm-hmm.
or you can get one, either scout
Uh-huh,
and
uh-huh.
report.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, but usually the reports is important. It works both ways. It works
Mhm,
with our scout.
mhm.
Usually, the football teams here in Thailand, they rather have scout and report
And reports, yeah.
report. That's right. But the price, although I don't want to, I need within.
That's one of the question. How much is the service from Coach Manolo? But yeah,
Oh,
I'm sure Coach Tom Chua, who's with the National University, can afford this one. Coach
I'll be
Tom.
okay. I'll be very straightforward with you. Um, the actual price for I think whoever joins our this particular video is the actual price itself is 3,600 USD. That's the
Uh-huh.
actual price for one scout account.
Hmm.
Okay,
Per month,
per
per year,
year,
per year,
per
or
year, per
per
year.
month. I would have fainted if it's per month.
No, per year. But here's the catch,
Uh-huh.
and the most important catch. I heard some rumors that I think basketball season might start by September or November.
Hopefully,
Hopefully.
we're all praying for that.
Okay, so am I. But I'm way ahead of you guys.
Mhm.
Whoever is willing to purchase Scout account within June to July.
Uh-huh.
Okay, June to July. I will sell the scout. I will the scout account will be 3,000 USD per account,
Hmm.
plus it will be a 15-month
So extra
annual.
3 months. Okay.
It will be activated the way you pay the day you pay the way the day you make payment
Uh-huh.
until September 2020 2021.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's a 15-month
Hmm.
minus $600.
Uh-huh. So as a question, because right now when I saw it, you don't have UAAP SAA games. So once a UAAP team signs up, you'll be able to get the games before, like the previous seasons.
Yes,
All right, all right, all right.
definitely.
Okay.
As of the moment, to tell you honestly, we are actually working on that right now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Uh, with regards to whoever obviously Coach Ariel, I will talk to you after,
Yes,
wherein I will know who actually attend and
yes,
who
yes.
will use who will use our free trial. I
Mm-hmm,
aside from the price, I'll be giving out free trial for 1 month.
mm-hmm,
Wherein, let's say for example a coach from UAP, right?
mm-hmm.
If he's interested, I will make sure I have all the videos, of course, obviously of the year 2019. I'll make sure that all those videos are uploaded and analyzed for him to see and make comparison.
Kaya-kaya ng NU to, Mr. Tom. Yan, no? The Tom is the scout for NU team. So
Yeah,
it's barya lang sa ano yan, sa NU.
it's very what is most important about our scout platform for agents, especially for agents. You can actually search the name of each player. For
Okay.
example, Nats Reeds, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a very perfect example. This is his data, but you have comparisons. You can compare him to someone else and see what kind of data he has of that person has. This
Against
is
that guy.
yes
All
against
right.
that.
Okay.
You see,
Mm-hmm.
it's extremely useful for agents, extremely,
Mm-hmm.
and you can actually print out all his data, okay,
Mm-hmm.
or download by PDF file and print it out and give it to the teams
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
as a profile.
Yes, I was, when I was playing with the program, just to share it with our attendees, because one of my tasks with Blackwater is to look for imports. So when I was comparing imports from different leagues and watching films of imports from those that we are eyeing.
Yeah,
Hopefully that there's an import league, but so I was able to see videos from his past game. So
yeah,
that's also one feature that I think that is very good, that you can watch videos of those players that you want to get overseas.
yes. Well, I to add to that, Coach Ariel, we apologize that we might not have most of the videos that other coaches require. We apologize for that. Within the Asia region, uh, basket, I'm trying my very hardest, and with the help of Coach Ariel, we hope that we will definitely upload more videos of the games, teams, and players.
Yeah,
Definitely,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. I was telling you that you started analyzing ABL games the
Yeah,
year after I was gone. So That's not good.
So I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Is it accessible on multiple devices? You
Yes,
mentioned right there. Okay, yeah.
yes.
And does one account mean that multiple team from the coaching staff can use it, or just one?
Just one person at a time.
One person at a time.
Yes,
Okay. All right. One person at a time. All right.
that's
So
right.
if you like the service for the head coach and a scout, you have to get two accounts.
Yes, that's right.
All right.
You get more than 3 accounts, I'll give you a discount.
All right. Wow.
That's 3 accounts.
So yeah. What? So the next step probably I'm sure they want to try it out for sure.
Yes, that's right.
So I think what we can do is that all
Uh,
those that attended.
this is what I require. This, if everyone's watching,
Yes.
this is what I need from
Mhm.
each for each account. So for me to be able to open a scout account for you guys, I will need a company name or team name, whichever team you're in, what country you're at, your full name, your position, email address, and mobile number.
Mhm.
You can
All right.
always you can send that to my email directly
Yes, you
if it's
can send it.
okay.
Yeah, and then just CC. Yeah, put your email
Zopon
address, please.
Zopon
Yeah,
dot Lilom at
instat.com.
port.
And Coach AV at hoopcoaches.com.
Yes. And Coach AV
At hoopcoaches. Yeah. Yeah, they know. Yeah, Coach
yeah
AV
AV
at
at hoop.
hoopcoaches. Hoopcoaches. Coaches.com. Yeah.
Okay.
Would
Okay.
it would
Yeah.
you be charging after the free subscription? It's not an automatic charge, right?
Come again?
Like do they need a credit card to like you will after the free you'll be charging?
No.
It's not like that, right? It doesn't work like
Uh,
you have to put a.
what happens is let me explain to you. All this information that I'm asking for goes straight to our database. Okay. What our
Mhm.
database does is it has a calendar year. So wherein, let's say for example, I activate your
Uh-huh,
Scout
uh-huh,
account is activated
uh-huh.
January 1, it will end January or Feb 1. So exactly 1 month's
All
time.
right, all right.
So you won't be able to use the account or you cannot log in anymore.
Mhm. All right. We have a media person here from Malaysia, Jordan Yap.
Okay.
How about for media? Do you have a separate price for media or same price?
Same price.
Same price for
Uh,
media.
it's extreme. I'll tell you now, it's extremely cheap. Uh, we wanted with regard to the COVID-19 that has happened. We wanted. I know finance is very low everywhere. This is InStat's way of helping. We wanna
Mhm,
we wanna give you a one price fit all
mhm,
for everybody, fair for everybody.
mhm,
Actually, if it's agent alone, the price is higher than this. I'll be very honest with you. But what we want to do is we with the help of Coach Ariel and the tie up and the partnership that we have, we want to offer this to you guys and only to you guys.
mhm. All
This
right.
won't be offered outside. This won't be offered to or verbally to other basketball teams or leagues. It's only offered here.
Thank you for that,
Yeah.
Sopon, and I'm sure. So, our attendees get that information and email to those two email address, and we'll double check also if you
As
attended
many,
the webinar. Yeah. So, but yeah, of
yeah.
course.
Sorry, Coach Ariel. Before I forget, let's say for example, each team or each person or each let's say each team, you have coach, head coach, assistant coach, analyst, video, or whatsoever. I don't care how many you guys have in the team or how many you want your scout accounts, free trial. I'll open it for all of you. 5 accounts, 10 accounts per team. I don't care. I'll do that for you guys.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure Coach Benji Sipin is very much excited.
Five accounts. Just give me all the 5 info. Who? That's all. That's all I need. I want. Before anything else is, I know that there's a lot of info that I can tell you regarding the Scout account or the Scout platform. What I really want you to do is try.
Yeah.
Play with it like what Coach Ariel did.
You'll have sleepless nights. I was, I was playing with it. It's too much videos.
See?
Really. You can each Euro team, and I was getting plays. I was getting ball screen actions, or like and so my laptop was full of videos. I had to transfer.
See? This is a comment from a person who never tried it.
Yeah.
This is I just opened an account for him just 2 days ago, yeah?
2 days ago.
See? Sleepless nights.
Yeah.
That's for all the coaches. And if there's any questions or concerns or whatsoever, right here at the right-hand corner at the bottom here, you can see that InSTAT technical support. That's 24/7, literally 24/7. You have any problems? You have any concerns? How to search? What to search? Something wrong, and so on and so forth. Type right there. Mine's not coming up. Yeah, it's supposed to come up, and it's a message box. You can contact them 24/7. That's our IT support, and we call it our IT support.
There's a question here. Within the 1-year subscription, are there any limits for the games or leagues that you upload or analyze? Is there a limit?
No.
No, right? So yeah.
No limit.
Yeah. That's a very good circle. I know some of the services like this has a limit, has a number of games limit. Okay, good.
So what happens is, let's say for example, a certain league, in Malaysia, and let's say we don't have that league, and you're our client, we will make sure you have that league and every game in it. That's our way of making sure that we have a client and we have to service our client by downloading all the videos that he needs for him to be able to work. So that means if we have to download the whole of the 2019 season, we'll do that and we'll analyze that. That's what we're capable of doing.
You have all the NBA games, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Most of the I was able to watch
most of the
it.
games are there. Yes.
Yeah. All right. Wow, sounds good.
We have a few NBA teams which I cannot mention at the moment. So apparently because the NBA team is our client, we have to make sure that whoever they play with, we need a comparison. We need statistics. You know what I mean? So that's how that works.
Yes. So you don't divulge who the teams you're scouting for, right? So that's like your confidentiality. Yeah. Okay. Because
we don't want, because like
celos.
No, having scout or having this is not a disadvantage. It's an advantage for most coaches. The thing is, let's say for the PBA, for the Philippine Basketball Association, let's just say for example, if one team has scout, that team has the edge because they will be able to access all the other teams. Now, let's say all the other teams have scout, Now you're all in the same playing field. But like Coach Ariel, you know this for a fact. Not all the coaches are never alike.
Yes, yes.
That's right.
Mm.
You guys have different techniques. You guys have your unique characteristics. This is where Scout comes in. What you require, all the information that you need, you might not even need all of those. You might only, for example, Coach Ariel, you might only use the videos
Mhm.
because the videos or pick and roll or some certain information that you might need of a certain player.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
there's specific that you need from this information. Only you can access in our InSTAT Scout.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So I
Yeah.
think our scouts here, our head coaches, our assistant coaches here have some convincing to do with their management.
Yes.
I,
I
I,
assure you,
I will definitely help Stella with this.
you will not regret it. I promise.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
just one last.
give more discount.
Yeah.
I'm a Chinese owner, so
Yeah.
so yeah, but yeah, it's an excellent tool, and of course, I would like to thank you for giving us the opportunity
You're
to
most
um
welcome, Coach.
be able to show this to our coaches, and and can learn also, because I'm learning, because I'm getting like plays, getting ball screen defense, and and
Yeah.
that 1 month you can do a lot, and hopefully we build a relationship with the Philippines, with Philippine basketball, and we'll
Yes.
have more Philippine basketball games if you have a client here in the Philippines, hopefully
Yeah.
soon.
Definitely, Coach.
And
We
ABL,
will.
and of course the
Yeah.
other leagues here.
We InSTAT will, or I will. I as InSTAT will support anything that you require. Because this is how it works. Once you're InSTAT family, we'll help you with everything you can, with everything you need.
Mhm.
So if there's any other questions or concerns or whatsoever, or don't understand anything, my email is there. Uh, just email me. I will give you my WhatsApp number. You can call me
Mhm.
anytime.
Yeah. Excellent, excellent. And yeah, call you anytime, and you want to set a meeting with you, yeah, just call you anytime, and I'm very happy to be able to help you present to our coaches here in the region.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Just last, Coach
All
Ariel.
right. Okay.
So July. So it's June till July.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From starting today,
Starting
tonight,
today.
until uh June 30th.
All right. June
Okay.
30th.
The Scout basketball Scout account will be 3,000 USD per account.
Mm-hmm. For
15 months
15 months.
15-month cycle.
Okay. So that's roughly how much per month
If you
divided by
can,
15. Doc
so
Teddy,
that's
help me.
3,000 divided
250,000 divided by
by
50,000.
50.
15.
That's $200 per month.
10,000 pesos a month. Wow, that's very affordable for Coach Tom. That's just your Starbucks money, Coach Tom.
But as I would understand that the trial, you can play all you want for 1 month, all you want. So that means we can move your contract
Subscription.
date.
Yeah, it's like 16 months now, so it's even less.
Like what I said, I'm very flexible.
Wow. All right. Yes, hopefully
All
we start basketball soon.
I hope so.
All right.
Okay,
But
that's
yeah,
it. Thank
thank
you
you
very
so
much,
much.
Coach.
I'm sure Doc Teddy won't ask the question for the coaches because you're not a coach, so he's
Any
been asked.
any questions from the attendees? Anything?
Any more questions before we? But feel free to message Sopon, and you can speak to him in Tagalog also for the Filipino coaches. He's
Just, just
magaling mag-Tagalog.
konti lang, coach, konti lang.
Oh, see.
So here's my mobile number.
It's too small. How can we
Small?
make
Is it
it big?
small?
Yeah.
Is it small? Hold on.
What's this?
It's
You only
66.
have annual subscriptions. You have monthly subscriptions.
I'm sorry. We don't have monthly subscription. Subscription, doc. I'm sorry. It's a very short of time. Too short of the time. And 1 month is trust me, 1 month subscription is not worth it. You will definitely go practically almost every. You'll be online every day. Every day.
Is there like a how many? Because you know the internet in the Philippines is not it's not the fastest in the. So is there like the what's the minimum requirement Mbps?
I'm not. I was never told, but as long as you're connected, I would prefer, for example, to use a laptop or a desktop is much better. The platform, the display is a lot better.
But there's like with regards to like the internet speed, as long as it's
But
LTE.
when you're downloading the videos, because we have so much data, we have so much video. It takes a long time before it can actually
it
download
depends.
those.
Okay. So it depends on your connection. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably,
So that's your number.
Yes. It's +66 968 588 352.
So it's
This is my WhatsApp number.
Okay.
You can call me anytime.
+66. That's a Thai number, right?
Thai number.
+66. Yeah.
+66
968 588
Yes.
352. All right. Okay. Sopon,
Okay.
thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very
really.
much, Doc and Coach.
So expect a lot of emails. So I'm sure they want to try.
I'm
They want to
happy.
try it. Our coaches, they want to like our auction or whatever info we'd like
Please.
to share the presentation. They're like the next day. They're like, oh, coach, can I have the presentation? So I'm sure
Please.
they're gonna email you for their free account.
If you need presentation, like for example, the PDF file for you to read or whatsoever, I can forward that to you on email. I think we're all grown ups. I don't need to be reading you PDF files. You can do that yourself.
Yes, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
it's just gonna be too long and boring. Trust me.
Yes.
So if you need company profile, you want to know specific of what our Scout account is about or the Scout platform is about, I will be more than willing to email that company profile, the profile to you. Not a problem. But I'm not going to read it to you. That's just too high school.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Thank you very much, Coach Ariel, and
thank
Doc
you.
Teddy.
And would like also to set up another meeting probably in a week or two after 15 days just to check on the coaches and see how it goes, and probably invite one of your scouts or one of those that analyzes the videos to join us so that he can give a like a video webinar for our coaches. All right,
we can do that. That's not a problem. We can do that. We can set that up.
All right. Thank you so much. And to
thank
coaches
you very
again,
much.
Coaches again, thank you for attending. Again, support the other webinars that are happening with other coaches on their Facebook page, and we're so happy that we're able to grow the game together, all together. And with the InSTAT here partnering with us, we can reach more coaches and further grow this game. Doc, thank you again for joining me here again for tonight. We kind of miss it for a week, but we're back and expect some more over the weekend, and we'll do uh, twice or thrice a week of webinars instead of every day. That's what we were doing it. But we'll be back. We'll announce on our Facebook page. We'll still have that auction for our freelance coaches, and I'm just gathering more items. I was able to get a signed practice jersey from Asi Taulava, and we got a brand new shoes from Charlie D, the owner of Ala
Wow.
Pilipinas. Brand new Jordan
Size
size
11.
11, size 11, and a shirt and some more boards, and Moala Tautu practice uniform from San Miguel. So again, all the proceeds will go to the coaches that are affected by not being able to coach or freelance and teach their students right now in this situation. But again, good night, everyone. Have stay safe. Our GCQ is not COVID is not yet is still there. GCQ, we just have to start our economy. So remember that. So it's still safe. Stay safe and wear your mask and pray that this pandemic's over soon. All right. Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.